Hello, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Everybody's out there shopping and being crazy. I'm actually working today, so I'm using my lunch break to do this video because then I have to clean my house, seeing as a bunch of people are coming to it. So, Thanksgiving time is, all of the holidays are awesome. Thanksgiving is actually not my favorite holiday. Easter is my favorite holiday. Fun fact. But everybody else likes Thanksgiving. My eldest son, David, is obsessed with Thanksgiving. So we're making the preparations. So we have all kinds of little traditions. One is tomorrow morning I'll watch the Macy's parade with my younger son who likes the balloons. That's the disabled one. He loves the balloons. And then we listen to Alice's Restaurant at noon. 50 bucks, and I had to pick up the garbage. So we listened to that, and then then everybody comes and they eat, and we have all kinds of people, hikers. Pretty much, it's an open door. Anybody who needs a place should come. And then after everybody leaves, and after they've stuffed themselves and after they leave, then we watch the first of the Christmas movies, which is Die Hard. So, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't even hear your nonsense. Anyway, so that is what we do. So, this video isn't about Thanksgiving, though, about my Thanksgiving. It's about being thankful. And I read a post on Facebook from a friend of mine who doesn't watch this channel, so I don't think she'll know it's her. And it's a post like many other posts that I've seen. And it's this post like, I have nothing to be thankful for. Holidays suck and blah, blah, blah. And as we know, because we've talked about this before, gratitude is the number one thing that raises our vibration, right? Being grateful. And we always have something to be grateful about. And it's hard. I know, like, in this person's case, like she had a sucky childhood, and I get it. There are things for which we are not thankful, right? But we can live in that energy, or we can move past that energy, and we can't control the things that have happened to us, and we can't control other people's behavior, emotions, talk, whatever. All we can control is our own response to it. So even though it's difficult, we have to, work with a medical professional or a wellness professional. We need to work with our energy to make sure that our energy just doesn't hold all of that negativity, because it isn't going to screw over the person who screwed you over, right? You being mad at them, you holding and harboring this negative energy isn't going to do anything to improve the situation or change the situation or change the memory, right? So you can only really move on, march forward. My mother always taught me to march forward. It's no use marching backwards. You can't play backwards, and you don't want to go back there anyway. You have to use the lesson and move on. So there's always something to be grateful about. And, morning intention, I always do, my intention is always, gratitude. And you think, well, I have nothing to be grateful for. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a great job. I, don't have great people in my life. I don't have a good friend. I don't have, whatever. We can always, forever and ever, think about things that we do not have. Or we can use that energy and say, look at all the amazing things I do have. Woke up under my own power this morning. I wobbled out here to fix myself a cup of tea. I drink a very specific brand of Scottish tea, and because Amazon exists, I can get it. I can brush my teeth with clean water, not mud. I can play with my cat, who is over here being ridiculous with a Q-tip. I have so much to be thankful for. No, it's not a fancy car. I don't want a fancy car. What a waste of money it is to have a fancy car. My job on this earth is not to impress others with stuff. It's to impress others with stuff. Well, not even to impress others, but to be a person of substance, right? It's to be a person shedding light and love and helping others shed light and love. So the stuff doesn't matter, right? Are there people who wish me well? Absolutely, for whom I'm so grateful. Are there people who wish me ill? Sadly, there are. But that's on them. That's their energy. They have to process their own energy. Can't spend my energy worrying about them, right? So there's always something to be grateful about. There's always something that we can offer up to God or spirit or whatever you call it. There's something every day that you can be grateful for. Sometimes it helps to just like take a piece of paper, close your eyes, 3 deep breaths, start writing down just the simple things you're grateful for. And, before you know it, you'll be like, oh, I am grateful for, I'm grateful that my house is such a mess, that I have so much stuff that it's a mess that I have to go clean it. Like how blessed am I to have such a horrible mess by my couch where I read and I have a stack of books. I have to go fix that before the people come, right? What a blessing that is to have such resources that I can have a mess. So the second part of her post, though, was also lambasting um, Americans for how we've treated the native people here, the indigenous Americans, the Native Americans. And in 1621, which was the first Thanksgiving, which was a 3-day festival, the Puritans were starving, and the indigenous Americans saved them. They saved their lives. There wasn't turkey. There wasn't a football game. There wasn't a Macy's Day Parade. There wasn't any of that stuff. It was a group of kind people who saw that these people had come and were starving to death and dying. And so they sat with them and taught them how to work with the land and deal with the climate. And Thanksgiving is an honoring of that generosity of spirit. The awful things that Americans did to the indigenous people can't be forgotten. Shouldn't be forgotten, right? But that didn't happen in 1621. That happened after. That happened after our bellies were fed. But Thanksgiving itself is an honoring of the indigenous people and a thanking of their efforts. Now, it's easy to say, especially for me. My family wasn't here. My family didn't come to the States. The one side came in 1921 and the other side came in 1932. My family wasn't here for any of the bad stuff. But I live in this culture, and it's my cultural responsibility to honor those who have suffered for others. There's a short story called The Ones Who Walk Away from Olas by Ursula Le Guin. If you have a hot minute, look it up. It's online. Go read it. And basically, the gist of it, spoiler alert, is that this couple comes into this perfect land, and they say, and the people are very welcoming, and it's, there's festivals and everything looks amazing and happy, and people are singing, and there's a party every day, and it's awesome, and people have enough to eat, and blah 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 blah. And the people who are giving the tour to this couple say, listen, this is all great, but we need to show you what makes this work. And if you can accept what makes it work, then you're welcome to live here. But if you can't accept it and you're going to try to change it, it won't change. But if you try to change it and you can't accept it, then this isn't the place for you. The couple's like, well, what could that possibly be? So they go to a dungeon and they see a child who is living naked in his own excrement. And they say this child has to suffer so that all the rest of this can exist. And the couple has to decide if they're going to be the people who say, okay, I walk away because I can't handle that, or if they decide to stay. And we all like to think that we would be the ones who walk away from Omelas. How many of us have Nike sneakers? How many of us even know what our shampoo is tested on? Right? That's not an excuse to stay or to go, but it's a realization that we don't always know what has gone on. Thanksgiving is about paying tribute to the Native Americans who helped us not die in 1621. What came after, the injustices that have continued to happen to the Native people of this land, those need to be remembered too. But that's not what Thanksgiving is about. And just saying on Facebook, well, I'm not going to celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a terrible holiday, doesn't help the indigenous people. Being an activist helps the Indigenous people. Being aware of the issues that impact Indigenous people help Indigenous people. Supporting their schools, helping wherever you can with time, money, and talent. And that doesn't mean going in and telling them how to live. They know how to live. They knew how to live. We came in and tried to change that and really rip their culture away, right? But not celebrating Thanksgiving, that doesn't help them. Saying thank you to them helps them in a way because it helps us be aware of the suffering that they went through to provide us with what we have today. So be thankful. And even if you have a TV dinner or, crackers and ho-hos or whatever it is you're going to do, say thank you to the Native Americans, the indigenous people of this land. And be thankful that they had the generosity of spirit, kindness, and light and love to help a starving people make it in a new place. So, that's my sermon for today. I am off to go back to work and look at my reports because that's exciting. I am wishing all of you all the very best in light and love and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy all that turkey. And I hope you get the good side of the wishbone. I don't do that because I think that's... But I hope you get the good side of the wishbone. Wishing you all the best in light and love. Bye-bye.